Welcome back to the Deep Dive. If you've been optimizing your life, your career, your finances, it's time to optimize the most important asset you have, your body.
Mm.
Our mission today is to really unpack the new philosophy of fitness for the high-performing individual in 2026.
And the goalposts have really moved, haven't they?
They really have. It's a massive shift. We're moving past purely aesthetic goals and aiming instead for Healthspan.
Healthspan, I like that term.
It's a strategic effort to maintain elite physical and, cognitive function indefinitely.
This is a critical distinction. We've synthesized a huge stack of sources today, centered around a strategic report from Sundried called Performance Forever.
Performance forever.
And it's less about finding motivation and more about adopting a repeatable, data-driven methodology. It's a blueprint, really, for treating your physiology like a high-value asset.
Okay, let's unpack this. The core of this methodology, as I understand it, is distilled into what the research calls 10 strategic imperatives, the essential do's.
And 10 critical errors. The don'ts.
The don'ts.
Right.
We are cutting straight to the fundamental shifts that you need to implement now. Let's start with strategic imperative number 1. It feels like a sci-fi concept, but it's rapidly becoming the gold standard, the digital twin.
It sounds futuristic, but it's already here.
So we're done with reactive tracking, just, counting steps or looking at what you did yesterday.
It's over. That's descriptive analytics. It's looking in the rearview mirror.
Okay.
The new standard is a dynamic virtual representation of your physiology, and it evolves in real time. We're moving from descriptive to truly predictive analytics.
Predictive. So what does that mean in practice?
It means algorithms are taking continuous data streams, your heart rate variability, your blood glucose, your sleep architecture, and they model how your unique system will respond to a major stressor tomorrow.
But hold on, if I'm a high performer, I'm used to listening to my body and, pushing through. How do I build the trust required to let a model dictate my training?
That's the challenge, and it leads directly to the practical application here, auto-regulation.
Auto-regulate.
You consult that model daily, and if the data predicts a dangerously high risk of fatigue based on, say, autonomic stress, you immediately adjust the intensity down.
Even if you feel fine.
Especially if you feel fine. The data often picks up stress before you subjectively feel it. It's not about feeling lazy, it's strategic resource management. You wouldn't drain the battery on your phone right before a long trip?
That's a powerful metaphor. And that resource management relies heavily on the physical foundation, which brings us to strategic imperative number 2.
Right.
Viewing muscle preservation as a metabolic priority. Sundried's report emphasizes that muscle isn't just for moving weights.
Not at all. It is the body's largest metabolic organ. It's vital for glucose disposal, for metabolic health, skeletal protection, everything.
What's fascinating to me here is the nuance. The report stresses preserving type 2, or fast-twitch, muscle fibers.
Yes, the powerful, explosive fibers. They decline most rapidly with age, but they're crucial for functional longevity, like catching yourself before a fall.
But if I'm running 5 days a week, isn't that enough?
Absolutely not, and that's a defining insight here. Traditional aerobic exercise alone is insufficient to stimulate those fibers.
So what do I need?
You must engage in heavy mechanical loading. We're talking about heavy resistance training. That high force is what stimulates osteoblasts.
Wait, what exactly are osteoblasts, and why should I care about stimulating them?
Osteoblasts are the cells that form new bone tissue. When you put a heavy load on the skeleton, like a heavy squat, those cells get the signal to lay down more density.
So without that, your bones get weaker over time.
Exactly. You have to view muscle not just as tissue, but as metabolic currency. You are banking it now so you can spend it wisely decades down the line.
That reframing makes the weight room completely non-negotiable.
Okay. Moving from the physical foundation to the training strategy itself, we have strategic imperative 3, hybrid training.
The old siloed view, I'm a runner, I'm a lifter, is dissolving. You have to become a hybrid athlete.
A hybrid athlete.
It's about capability across all domains, and the core strategy is developing what's called strength endurance.
The report focuses on the capacity for compromise running.
Compromise running.
It means the ability to run efficiently even immediately after heavy lower body exertion, like a heavy sled push or a set of deadlifts.
So if I finish a set of 20 lunges and then immediately have to sprint 400 meters, that's it.
That's it. It forces your system to manage lactate and maintain good form under fatigue. It mimics real-world demands. It's high-quality stress.
Here's where it gets really interesting for me, because to support that high-intensity hybrid work, we have to master Zone 2 training. Sundried calls this the engine room of longevity.
It's the absolute foundation of performance, and this is where we need to slow down and get it right.
So Zone 2, what is that exactly?
We're talking about training at 60 to 70% of your max heart rate. But for you listening, the simplest check is the talk test.
The talk test.
If you can comfortably speak in full, complete sentences without gasping, you are likely in Zone 2.
So it should feel easy, almost.
Uh-huh.
Frustratingly slow. Why is that pace so critical?
Because that specific intensity forces your body to preferentially use fatty acids for fuel.
And what does that do?
The physiological benefit is profound. It stimulates mitochondrial biogenesis, the creation of new, highly efficient power plants in your cells, and it dramatically improves how you use lactate as fuel.
So you're building a bigger, better engine.
A much better engine. And this isn't supplemental work. It should be the bulk of your endurance volume. The recommendation is about 80% of your total endurance time.
80%. That requires huge discipline. Moving into the holistic stack, we have to address mental resilience, which leads us to somatic movement.
Right. The goal here is down-regulating the nervous system in a high-stress world.
So this is more than just stretching.
Oh, much more. It focuses on interoception, the internal sensing of the body's condition. The slow, conscious movements are designed to release chronic tension.
So we're trying to turn off the alarm system. For the listener facing constant deadlines, what does this actually achieve?
It's the intentional shift from the sympathetic state, fight or flight, to the parasympathetic state, which is rest and digest.
And all recovery happens in that rest and digest mode.
All of it, all genuine recovery and adaptation. The report suggests small exercise snacks of somatic movement throughout the day to mitigate that chronic stress.
That's a great application. Now, let's talk community. The report encourages leveraging third spaces, the gym or the club, as a social environment.
Social accountability is a powerful adherence booster. Just connecting with others in that environment triggers the release of oxytocin, which is a profound buffer against stress.
So being a lone wolf is physiologically inefficient.
It really is. Now, looking at active recovery, let's discuss contrast therapy alternating heat and cold.
So better than just sitting in a hot tub.
Much better. The strategy is to create a dynamic vascular pump. Heat causes vasodilation, the vessels open up, and cold causes vasoconstriction, they narrow.
And that creates a flushing effect.
A powerful flushing effect. It accelerates the removal of metabolic byproducts.
What's the protocol?
Standard cycle is 3 to 5 minutes of heat, then 1 to 3 minutes of cold, repeated 3 or 4 times. But there's a crucial caveat from the report.
Okay.
Timing is everything. You must avoid cold immersion immediately, say, within 4 hours after hypertrophy training.
And why the delay?
Because muscle growth actually requires an acute inflammatory signal to kickstart repair. Cold is a powerful anti-inflammatory. If you use it too soon, you blunt the very signal you were trying to generate.
So you could be sabotaging your own gains.
Exactly. Now, switching to precision nutrition, the emphasis is on targeted chemistry. Sundried singles out creatine, but not just for muscle.
For cognitive support, right?
For critical cognitive support, reducing mental fatigue during high-stress periods. And we must talk about electrolytes.
Especially with all this sauna use and high-volume training.
Foundational for neuromuscular function. Sweating out sodium and potassium without replenishing them will directly impair performance.
And the anchor is protein. What's the target intake?
The requirements are high. The recommendation is in the range of 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight. And that's spread throughout the day, not just one shake.
Finally, in the do's, we have the AI paradox. Use AI as a tool, not a master.
This is where human judgment remains paramount. The algorithm can crunch numbers, but it fundamentally lacks intuition.
What can't the algorithm see?
It can't see the way your knee is tracking under a heavy load, it can't assess your mobility constraints, and it definitely can't understand the emotional context of a stressful week.
So use AI for the numbers, but a human coach, or your own intuition for the nuance.
That's the strategy.
Okay, now we flip the script. Let's move into the 10 mistakes we must eliminate, the critical errors. First up, a data-driven pitfall, data anxiety or orthosomnia.
This is a massive trap. The error is letting your wearable dictate your self-worth. If your watch says your recovery score is 55 and you go into your workout expecting to feel sluggish,
Then you probably will. The nocebo effect.
precisely, you manifest the negative expectation.
So how do we fix that?
Use the data as a lagging indicator. Look at long-term trends. Is your HRV improving over 3 weeks? Don't use it as a leading indicator that determines your daily readiness.
Next up, a common training zone error. Don't get stuck in the gray zone, zone 3. The report calls this the black hole of training.
Because it feels challenging, but it gives you very little specific adaptation for the fatigue it generates.
So you're pushing too hard on your easy days.
Exactly. And then you're not fresh enough to hit the high intensity required on your hard days. It delivers junk volume. The fix is absolute polarization. Your easy days must be strictly zone 2.
And a simple but critical fueling error. Don't underfuel immediately post-workout.
The error is delaying food intake. You're actually just extending the cortisol spike from your workout, keeping the body locked in a catabolic or breakdown state.
And that prevents repair.
It slows everything down. The fix is protein and carbs quickly. And as the report makes very clear, coffee is not a meal.
Let's combine a few other don'ts. Don't neglect muscle maintenance, especially during weight loss. That leads to sarcopenic obesity.
Right, where you have a normal body weight but dangerously low muscle mass. It's a huge health risk.
And related to AI, don't blindly follow an AI workout. The algorithm can't see your knees collapsing.
You must validate it with human feedback. And of course, the biggest trap for everyone, don't chase fads over fundamentals.
Consistency over intensity.
Every single time. A mediocre plan you follow consistently is infinitely better than a perfect plan you follow sporadically.
And the final mindset shift is critical for preventing burnout. Embrace the joy of missing out. JOMO.
The error is letting FOMO, fear of missing out, on a workout drive your training when your body is telling you it's running on empty.
So prioritizing rest is a strategic decision.
A valid strategic training decision, not a failure. It means respecting your model and the long game.
So what does this all mean for you listening as you look ahead to 2026? Performance is defined by integration.
It is.
It's the seamless merging of technology, intensity, recovery, and community. We are fundamentally shifting from building a body that just looks good to building a physiology that is resilient, metabolically flexible, and designed to perform for decades.
And the beauty of this strategic roundup from Sundried is the actionable advice. If you're pushed for time, say only 3 hours a week, you must prioritize strength training. Muscle is harder to gain and easier to lose than aerobic capacity.
And if you have 7 hours,
You must prioritize that 80-20 polarization rule.
for anyone who thinks this is too expensive or complicated, remember the ultimate budget approach from the source. Gravity and pavement are free.
That's right.
You can master the bodyweight squat, the zone 2 run, and crucially, sleep is the single most effective performance enhancer available, and it costs absolutely nothing.
And if we connect this all back to Healthspan, consider this final thought. If VO2 max is the strongest predictor of all-cause mortality, and your grip strength is a proxy for your overall neuromuscular vitality, how does this sharp focus on measurable, functional metrics that determine your quality of life decades from now, reshape your personal definition of truly successful training session this week? It's something to mull over as you plot your strategy for the long game.